Alright, good morning everyone. Today is Tuesday, August 21st, 2012. Again, no news events today, so we really don't have a whole lot to go over. But, the markets were flat right up until the end of the morning session, then they moved right back to where they started. The range of the day, I'll start with the ES, okay? The range of the day has been decent compared to yesterday. The high is up here, as you can see, 24.75, and the low is all the way down here at 16.75 for an 8-point range. The majority of that range was put in between 10:40, 10:39, and right now. So in the last hour. The first 2 hours had a move up right here, and then it went sideways for about 45 minutes. Alright, so let's just go over these trades. We started the day right here. We got inside these weekly trading zones, okay? And I wasn't looking to take any trades because there were only 2 points in between the zones. An entry here would have put me in here, which would have been too close to the next zone for me to take the trade. Alright? I like to have 2 points between my entry and the next trading zone. That wouldn't have done it there, but if you did take the trade anyway, obviously it did give you 2 points. The next opportunity was once we broke up above here, we also broke up above the zone on the YM. These same type of zones, let me just show you. You see we had the same thing going on over here on the YM at the same time. You see, my cursor is global right here on these two markets, and right there and right there. So the YM and the ES were both having trouble with the zones this morning. Once we broke up above the zones, I took a long trade here on the first pullback down to the BBC. I drew in a trend line. I actually drew in the trend line over here, and I said if this trade triggers, we're going to have some work to do to get above that trend line. And it really did take a long time to finally close above that trend line. It closed above it over here, but by the time it closed above it, the MA1 had gone down below the BBC. It pulled all the way back up to our entry. Right there was an opportunity to get out of the trade at break even. I stayed in it, and I stopped out about 2 or 3 minutes later, right down here. Okay? From there, you can see the thing kept going down, and that trend line that I drew in here, I drew that trend line way back here at 10:42. It's still holding. That trend line is still holding all the way down. That was our one trade on the ES, alright? So we got -1 trade on the ES. Now, let's jump over here to the NQ, because that's where we had another trade this morning. Not that one. It was this one right here. Alright, we took a break-even trade over there, but let's just go over what actually happened this morning. We didn't have any trades right in here. Right in here we had a bullish cross, a pullback down test to the BBC with an up close, but the cycle was headed down, so I didn't take anything in there. I said I was going to wait for an A-grade trade, which means a trade that has everything going for it. You have your bullish cross of the BBC here. Price, the MA1 moves away from the BBC and price pulls back down. With the A-grade trade on the pullback down to the BBC, the MA1 would still be blue, and the cycle portion of the slingshot would still be blue and headed up. So that was an A-grade trade right there. I did take that long. It gave us 7 ticks profit. I moved my stop to break even, and it took me out of break even. Alright, that's the trade that I took on the NQ this morning. We had a bearish cross in here, pull back up and tested the BBC. I missed this one. I was long on the ES when all this was happening, and I missed all this movement down here on the NQ. Now, on the NQ, while it was all moving down here, we didn't have a bunch of opportunities because of the divergence, just on the pullback to the BBC, but we did have 3 momentum trade opportunities. For those of you guys who are partners who understand the momentum trade stuff that we went over in the partners meetings, there was one right here. You see it down here. There was one opportunity right there, another one right here, another one over here. Okay, those were the 3 momentum trade opportunities in that move down. I had stopped looking at it. I had stopped looking at it right here. This is where we closed up the morning session. But you can see it still kept going down. We didn't really have any more. There might have been one little momentum opportunity right here. But as far as divergences go, we didn't have any more opportunities there on the NQ. Alright, that was all that I looked at on the NQ this morning. here on the YM. Let's see. On the YM we have, I was watching it this morning. I mean, you could see we opened up right over here. Well, we opened up over here in between these zones, and it was struggling going up against the zone right up above it. Then finally, once it got up above it, it was stuck in between them. It was working its way through. Right here is where we took the long trade on the ES. I didn't want to take the same trade, same direction on the YM because we were coming off of a multi-month, multi-year high. So I was just going to only risk it on one market at a time. And because we had this right here, we had a lower high put in. The YM did exactly the same thing as the ES did. It struggled for a while with it. It finally closed up above, and then it dropped down, doing the same exact thing. And right now it's trying to pound through this weekly trading zone right below it, just like the ES. Okay, the ES did get through it just a little bit, but not convincingly, not yet. I did look at crude this morning, but I didn't trade any crude. Okay, let me scroll back here a little bit on the crude for you to the open. Here's the open. Right in here there was some bearish divergence down here on the bottom. Now what we're looking for on the crude is a bearish cross of the MA1 below the BBC. Price to come back up, looking for some area of resistance, finding it at the BBC, testing the BBC by touching it, then closing down. Okay. When that happens, you want to have divergence here between the green line and the cycle portion of the slingshot. All right. So we got that, and that was one. Here was another one over here. You see the same thing happened. Bearish cross, test to the BBC, down, close. Here was another one right here, but the cycle was moving up against it. Right in here was another one. Okay. You guys see this? Bearish cross, test to the BBC with a down close. Daily reminders. I don't know. You mean from GoToWebinar, Robin, right? You mean from GoToWebinar, the ones that are automatically sent out every day? I don't know. I don't know why they didn't get sent out. Because they are automatically sent out. We don't trigger that. And there was another one, and that was the close of the morning session right there, guys. Right now, it's trying to work its way down slowly, right over here. Okay, right there would have been the down close for the down move. Oh. Sorry. No, different Robin. Different Robin. We have two Robins in here. All right. That was the crude oil. So I didn't take any trades on the crude this morning. I'll show you the 6E just for argument's sake. Yeah, that's right, Bruce. You have to sign up. Robin, you know that. Yeah, Robin's been around long enough. He knows that. Let's see, the divergences weren't coordinated all that well with the moves up here on the 6E this morning. All right, there were a couple on the way down. There was one right there for a short, over here for a possible long. Where were they? There was one other one right in here. All right, that's pretty much it on the 6E this morning. And that's pretty slow. Oh, not a ton of them. Yeah, I figured you did. You were in there yesterday, so you should have gotten something. But that is pretty much it, guys. I just don't have a ton to go over in the recaps right now because we just aren't getting any movement. The good thing is that we're not forcing a bunch of trades. We're just taking the ones that are actually there. You know, the setups aren't triggering a bunch of failing trades. You know, and they're not triggering much at all, for that matter. But that's what you would want. All right. With that, I oh, I forgot to say, if you haven't taken a free trial with us, go to www.cfrn.net/apply. Take the free trial. The results this morning on the ES, we have -1 trade, which is 8 ticks. On anything else, we're flat everywhere else. And that's pretty much it. Okay. What level in the ES, if we were to close below, would get your attention for a reversal sign? If we were to close below for a reversal, well, let's look at a bigger picture here. I would think this level right for a total reversal. You mean a multi-month reversal, Jerry? Or a month, multi-day, multi-month? I don't deal in those time frames, but
Mike Reed just sent me an email, and he thinks that we saw a failed breakout today, and he believes that sentiment is overly bullish, and that if we get a break and hold under 1416, that it'll keep us down for a while.
yeah,
Worst case, if we 1420.
I would say, what, a strong move down below 1414. That's what I would say. Mike Reed said 1416. It's pretty close, within a couple of points. But I would say a strong move below 1414 would be a reversal area. But I mean, I think right now, the way the DOM has been acting, pretty much all morning, it's been pretty much even all the way through. All this stuff right here, when we were in that trade this morning, they were both sitting right around 24,000, the bid and the ask. So that suggested that it was going to be really choppy. We got this move down that stopped us out right here, but we went down here and now we're right back to chop. So in the bigger picture, if you were to stretch it out some more, this looks like, retracement wise, an area where it could stop and move up. All right, let me just let me do this quickly. I'm still recording this, I think. But, oops, let me do this. Drawing tools, and just for argument's sake, we'll do that right there. Now, this right here is 50% retracement of that move up. Okay, so if you're looking for that sort of thing, then this consolidation period right here, place right here, that's significant. And Mike Reed said below 1416. I think below 1414, and we'll see this 100% retracement down here. After we break that, well then, it's anybody's guess. But that is my thought on the whole thing. All right. All right. I don't see any more questions in the box. So let me just scroll up and make sure. Yes, I don't see any more questions in the box. So I'm gonna stop the recording here, and then we can head out to Vegas.